Rabbi Aaron Box back here with my podcast. I know it's been quite a while since December of last year, but I wanted to come back with some thoughts about what's going on in the world today. Um, I don't want to minimalize or trivialize what's going on in Israel with the hostages being released and the ceasefire that's going on or should be continuing to go on. I don't want to trivialize that or minimize it. I also don't want to trivialize or minimize what's going on in our government right now with all of the executive orders, among other things that are being highly debated. And I want to really talk about those things today, not because they're not important, but because I want to share with you an experience that I had yesterday and the day before that I believe are much more important to me and I would believe to most people that know me or would have any indication to or any need to hear this podcast, and that is I officiated at two funerals this week. One memorial service that was held in our sanctuary here at Temple Beth Shalom, and another one, a shorter service that was held at Bushnell, the military cemetery in Bushnell. And the reason why I want to talk about these experiences is because and in this world, in this country, not just in this world, not just in this country, everywhere, we tend to disagree on a lot of things, and when we disagree, oftentimes it becomes very heated and emotional, and people get defensive or offensive, depending on the situation. Fights often come out, bigger arguments, and hatred often is a result of these conversations. And when I was officiating these two funerals, I was observing all kinds of people attending, all kinds of people in the sanctuary and even at the cemetery of different backgrounds, different places in life, different religions, perhaps different races, different cultures. And everybody came to these two ceremonies for the same purpose, and that was to honor the life of someone who had died. Because in truth, we're all equal when it comes to death. Everyone in this world dies. Regardless of how we die, when we die, we all die. It's just a part of the story of life. It's part of the circle of life. And when we focus on all of the things in the world that make us who we are, or make other people who they are, and we focus only on the things that we have differences in, and don't focus on the things that we have in common at all, we lose sight of, I believe, the bigger picture. Look, I'm not suggesting for a minute that we shouldn't recognize our diversity and that we shouldn't recognize our differences. Absolutely. But we should celebrate those differences. Because if we were all the same, how boring of a world that would be. It is in our differences that makes the world go round, if you will. But when we focus on that diversity, we can't let it take on more meaning and become something that it's not. That diversity is a good thing. And yet, when it comes to death, we're all equal. Some people get cremated, some people get buried in the ground, some people's ashes get, taken to various different places. Some people die in an explosion and so on and so forth. But the point is that when we die, we're all no longer here in physical body. And when people come to celebrate us or celebrate the lives of those that have passed, they don't concern themselves with differences. Actually, they focus on what memories they have of the ones that passed that bring them comfort. My mom died. There still are a lot of memories that would make me angry or bring me frustration or sadness or anger or whatever, but I don't focus on those memories. I focus on the good memories. I focus on what made my mom the person that she was and how she affected me and all of those that knew her. And at my mom's funeral, none of us talked about how we were different. We were all there to celebrate my mom's life, which is what happens at a funeral. People come together to celebrate the life of the one that passed. Everybody in this world has lost someone or will at some point in their life lose someone. That's just a fact of life. We're all the same in that way. And eventually, we all will also die. There's something beautiful to say about that. There's something beautiful to think about how we're all equal in death. Even if we die in different ways, even if we come from different backgrounds, when we die, we're the same. And I think that that's the message. I wish we could take a little bit of that commonality, that sameness, that equality that we have in death and bring it to our lives while we're living and focus on that while we're living. I had in my office today two people that politically don't agree with me in a number of ways. And we disagreed about several things while they were in my office. But at the end of the meeting, I embraced them and said, you know what? It doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. I still love you. And they feel the same way about me because we're able to embrace each other regardless of how we feel or think or disagree. That's the kind of equality that we need to have in life. That's the message I want to put forward today. So with that, I'm going to end my podcast this week with the idea of the equality that we have in death. I would like for us to bring that equality to the way that we treat each other as we're living our lives. Let's not just celebrate people when they die, and let's not just celebrate their lives after they're gone. Let's celebrate each other now while we're still living, while we can really appreciate it and accept it. See you next time.